All right, welcome in everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something pretty potent, pretty direct. Just this idea, this statement that depression survives on stillness. We've got this single sentence as our jumping off point, and I'm really interested to explore alongside all of you listening what this might mean, practically for those times when we feel stuck, maybe even a little bit low. So let's just get right to it. Here's the full quote. Depression survives on stillness. Move your body, shift your focus, and let action bring the light back into your life.
Wow.
Right. Okay, so first impressions, anyone? What's the immediate gut feeling you get, listener, when you hear that?
I think what's so striking here is how boldly it connects a mental state, depression,
Yeah.
to a physical state of just like not moving, stillness. It's saying inertia isn't just a symptom. It's almost like the food depression needs to stick around.
Yeah, it's not just that we feel down and therefore don't do much. It's saying that by not doing much, we're almost feeding the very thing we want to get rid of. And this is where I find it gets really, really interesting. It kind of flips the script on how we usually think about it.
Totally. If we think about the bigger picture here, how intertwined our minds and bodies are, it's suggesting that even tiny actions, a bit of movement, could actually interrupt the cycle of depression.
So hold on, I want to make sure everyone's with us here.
Sure.
What we're talking about isn't that you have to suddenly become like marathon runner to feel better, right?
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that the two things, the mind and body, they talk to each other constantly.
Right. And prolonged stillness can sometimes lead to more rumination, those negative thought loops, and that can just make feelings of depression more intense. But taking action, even small actions, can disrupt that. It shifts our focus outward.
So what does this all mean for you right now, listening?
Well, this single sentence gives us a pretty active approach to feeling better.
Yeah.
It's not about waiting for a miracle cure. It's about taking that first step, literally or figuratively, to create some movement. And this brings up a great question for everyone to think about. If you were feeling stuck, what's one tiny shift you could make? Maybe it's just rearranging your desk, going for a short walk, or picking up a book. It doesn't have to be a huge change.
It's almost like, if you think about being stuck in mud, we wouldn't just sit there and wait for the mud to disappear, right?
Right.
We'd try to move, to shift our weight, to find some solid ground.
Exactly. And sometimes that movement, that effort, is enough to get us unstuck.
So essentially what we're pulling from this deep dive into just this short but potent statement is that motion can create emotion.
Absolutely.
Shifting our physical state even slightly and choosing where we direct our attention can actually have a real impact on how we feel and potentially help us move away from that sense of stillness that can be so closely tied to feeling down.
It's powerful stuff. We often think of our mental well-being as something that's purely internal, all in our heads, right? But this source really challenges that. It suggests that our physical actions play a much bigger role than we might realize. What if the first step out of a difficult feeling isn't more thinking, but actually just doing something, anything? Food for thought, right?
Definitely something to think about. And on that note, we'll wrap up for today. Until next time, keep exploring, keep moving, and thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.